Welcome back to the final session of today's conference. This is the MENA Leisure Report. And by last but no means least, I'd like to introduce you and welcome back Prakash Vivekanand, Head of MENA Leisure Report Committee.
Thank you so much, and thank you indeed for having me on this. And you know, this has been a favorite project of mine for some time, and it was mostly driven out of the need that we have the best leisure projects in this part of the world, in my opinion. But we don't have much data. If you ask us for how many people do we employ, what is the total footfall, how many people do we cater to, what's our contribution as an entertainment industry to the GDP of each country and their economy, we've got no such data available. We've kind of got sporadic information, but nothing really put together as an informative booklet that has all this information. Many times we see many agencies and many companies write to us trying to sell us reports about the entertainment sector in the EMEA region. And I happened to speak to one of them and ask them, hey, how did you do this report and what was it based on? And they told me that it's based on 7 suppliers telling them that what is to be done and where do they get their data from. And they're selling this report for £2,000 or £2,500 and based out of information from 7 different suppliers. And 3 of these suppliers were actually in consumer electronics, had nothing to do with the real arcade side of the business or the real amusement side of the business. I then look at various reports that many, international bodies, everybody else come up for theme parks and entertainment industry in different regions. And there are claims like 300% growth from 2018 to 2019 in the EMEA region as a forecast. I mean, for a lot of us who've been living here, we've not seen that kind of growth. We then sat together as board of directors of Menalac and we discussed, hey, there's a real need for us to have a proper report done that is driven by this region, by people who understand things, who are catering to this region, operators who are present in this region, and we should put together something to let everyone who's investing into this region know what our economy is like, what is the leisure industry like, what is the contribution of the leisure and entertainment industry to the GDP of this part of the world and each country in this part of the world, and what can we do to further enhance the image of this country. So the MENA Leisure Report as such came in from that perspective. It's an exclusive report on the MENA leisure and entertainment industry, driven by the need to obtain qualified industry data, thus aid the development of the industry, insights into overall leisure plus attraction sector and broader tourism industry, annual benchmark reports on leisure industry trends that will enable stakeholders to understand the strengths, opportunities, challenges in each country within the MENA region. It is a collector's edition book, which will have a report of various operations in each country, classified by the country, and it'll have information. It'll be packed with information of various kinds. We will go through those various aspects of what sort of information it contains in a while. It's dedicated to celebrating the wonderful projects that are presently operational in the industry and the wonderful projects to come in the Middle East and the North African region. The report itself will cover the entire MENA region and the countries that have all been listed in this map that you see. The report will contain a macroeconomic view per country, economy and tourism indicators, demographic data and projections. This is such useful information. We need to know what age groups are prevalent in each of these countries, what is the birth rate going to be for the coming 4 to 5 to 10 years, and that could then dictate what sort of investment should somebody do based on this kind of age group, given the fact that we cater to a family audience most of the times in this part of the world. The leisure tourism overview and statistics, GDP analysis, contribution of the leisure and entertainment sector to the GDP. COVID taught us that we simply don't have this information. If we have to go to respective governments in each of these countries and then say, stake our claim for more relief for our sector, we simply didn't have the information to go back to them and tell them, this is how much we contribute to the GDP, this is how important we are, and to banks, to financial institutions, to government organizations, to tell them that this is the level of employment that we provide, right? So we still want to know. We kind of have sporadic data. We kind of estimate based on 5, 10 people telling us what their annual revenues are. But we really haven't had this broken down per country, per region, or per territory, or per operation, or classified by different types of operations. So we would like to, this MENA Leisure Report is going to be an attempt to realize these sort of reports for us, annualized revenue per leisure sector, typical revenue breakdown, attendance data, employment statistics. We also will have a section on all the upcoming leisure projects and opportunities in the MENA region. And this will also have many wonderful thought articles and by thought leaders and visionaries in this industry. I did forget on one point. Most of the data, we're not going to base a lot of the data that we're going to collect on 2020. Most of the data will be based on the 2019 calendar year so that it's more representational, given the fact that 2020 has been such a topsy-turvy year for all of us. There would be a focus report on key leisure and entertainment operations in each MENA region, a pictorial report of the key leisure projects, a directory listing of all Menalac members, a company profile of leading operations and key players in each country in the MENA region. Advertisers, I will, of course, tell you more about the benefits of advertising in this particular issue in the forthcoming slides. This is typically to tell you, this is one of the reports that has been published about, what will be the state of Kuwait and, what are the opportunities in Kuwait, a lot of demographic information. We will also be conducting a survey across operators in the MENA region with very pertinent information specific to theme parks, water parks, entertainment centers, FECs, play areas, which will give a wealth of information for all of us to know and plan our approach to this region in a much better fashion. We're working with two partners. Our research partner on this is BNC International. They are a very reputed firm that do a lot of project-based research, demographic and country-based research, and GDP-based research. And they're very well established in this region and are reputed for providing valuable project-based information. And we also have UHY James, our chartered accountants and auditors of Menalac, who will be our audit and analytics partner, who will collect all this information and turn it into valuable analytics and valuable reports for all of us to use. To all the companies, we'll be approaching operators around this region to participate in the survey. All the answers from this survey will be directly sent to this audit firm, and this audit firm will then collate all that information and report the same as a consolidated report. And that information will not be shared with anybody, and the audit firm has an NDA with Menalac on the usage of this information. The benefits of advertising are many. In terms of reach itself, Menalac wants this report, once printed, to be sent to ministries and government institutions all across the region, to regulatory bodies and authorities, to tourism boards and departments, to embassies, consulates, and trade missions of embassies, to chambers of commerce and industries, real estate developers, key investment firms, banks, financial institutions, audit firms, and the like. So in terms of reach itself, the reach will be to people that matter. This is a perfect opportunity for companies to showcase your products, services to a range of audience in the MENA region and to any global player interested in entering the MENA region. This is really an opportunity for companies to be a part of the first in-depth report on the leisure and entertainment industry in the MENA region. This will be a reference publication which many will use. I often get calls from many audit firms asking me, can you tell me a little bit more about the development of the sector, or what are people doing here, what are people there? Instead of calling me now, we could just point them out in the right direction and make them see through this report, and that'll help them significantly to get valuable information. It's a coffee table book. It'll be available as a hard copy, which will be on the coffee tables of many CEOs' offices, and it'll have a shelf life for every advertiser of 365 days. Now, our endeavor is to try and make this as a yearly publication, where we would have a permanent research agency who will continually work with the industry to keep obtaining data and keep nursing that data into valuable analytics for us to use. This will be extensively promoted on social handles by Menalac and its partners, such as the organizers of Deal Show, C Show, Intergame, Blue Loop, Retail Middle East, etc. The entire publication will be available online for Menalac members and non-members to access by registering. And this, besides the hard copy, you can also access every page of this book online. Each advertiser will obtain a full-page editorial to showcase their company, or probably the profile of the company, and the many projects that they've worked on in the MENA region. These are some advertising rates. You know, there are member rates and non-member rates, and I would urge everyone to become a member and then take advantage of the member rate rather than pay the non-member rate. The revenue that we collect through this endeavor will all be employed to conduct more surveys and research into the MENA leisure and entertainment business, obtain a wealth of information that will benefit stakeholders regionally and globally, and produce a quarterly industry bulletin that will tell you, the pulse of the industry in terms of what are the changes, what is happening in this industry, so that you're well informed. And this would obviously go into, as most of it would go on as investment into education, safety, networking events, and enhancement of the MENA leisure and entertainment industry. I thank you so much for listening to me on this. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact Sanai, who would help you with the answers. And we plan to launch the MENA leisure and entertainment, the MENA leisure report in March of this year. We've had a phenomenal response to this already, and we look forward to, and we're limiting the number of advertisers in the very first edition of this to 50 advertisers only. And in case any of you desire to participate in this, please don't hesitate to contact the team. In case any of you want to contribute to this book by way of articles, by way of information, again, please don't hesitate to contact the Menalac team. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for attending this conference, and thank you, the entire Menalac team, for a job brilliantly done. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. The MENA Leisure Report is an exciting and first of its kind publication, and I know we're all looking forward to seeing it soon.